And it is time to understand the right click on taskbar. Now we discussed about right click on desktop, which is really first thing to understand and to really realize. And the second thing is really to understand the taskbar setting, because you want to have a clean looking and awesome looking over your windows. So you have to understand each settings and really work with it. So you right click and you have these options they are pumping up, okay? And these options are really hard, really bringing the changes or making the changes or modifying all about this taskbar line bar. Starting from the taskbar, start menu, and to the quick launch buttons, these buttons, then really these icons, and then the notification area or where the notification pops up. So it's really start. There's nothing, but we will really go deep into this later on, but not right now. And this button is really for the search icon whenever you hit it. So you can search anything and it'll pop up for you. Okay, you type in here and wow, it brings for you that application. For example, I wanted to have MS Paint and I type MS Paint, boom, I have MS Paint there. Now I can have all apps, documents, web, or maybe more. I don't know. But whenever you're having internet, whenever you're having internet, so it's searching from the web too. So you right and you double click on it. So it'll already open the Microsoft Edge for you. So there you have a lot of search result about the MS Paint program or anything you search. So right now it loads up and I'm going to just close it. And this button is Cortana. You can click on it and then you can talk to the Cortana. Cortana is a she, and then she listens to you and then she talks with you. But it needs internet connection. Now for the purpose of the recording, I didn't have internet connection and I disconnected all my internet connection. In here you have the task view. Click in here. Oops. Yeah, and here, so you go to the task and you can manage your desktop, your whole desktop. Right now I have one desktop I can manage and really have a lot of desktop in here. I can click on new desktop. Wow, I have desktop number 2. Click desktop 3, and I can have as many as I wanted to. Of course it's not unlimited. So it's good for some purposes of really managing Windows and the work you do. And it's really benefit to you. And this is a timeline where you can scroll up and down to understand what you did over your computer. As always, you have a search button. You can search anything in here as activities. And these applications are applications that I installed myself, so you don't need to have it. And then we come to this icon where you can see the notifications area. I mean icons, notification icons. And down in here you can have the change language. We will talk about it. And then you have the notification area, and then you have the area button. What is this really doing? So whenever you click on it, whenever you go in here and click on it, so or maybe not just click it, but somehow doing this work. So there you go. I have a clean, nice looking it shows me that my windows are open. That was the whole taskbar, and now let's go to its settings. Click, and we have the first thing, which we call it toolbars. You can have address, links, networks, desktop, new toolbar. I installed networks myself, so you don't have it, don't worry. Let's check mark address and see what we will have. So this is nice looking and it's really useful for sometimes. For example, you wanted to open MS Pen, for example. So you write MS Pen and you click and it should open for you. Or maybe you write something else. I don't know, maybe you write CMD. We'll also talk about it. It opens that. So it's really benefit for sometimes that you wanted to. And links will link to that. For example, you link a file to a person, that's called link. And networks, I installed myself, so desktop will bring the whole content of desktop for you. A new toolbar is where you can have and install a new toolbar for you. This was the group number one, and group number two is different. So you can check mark, uncheck mark, and you'll have the options. And whenever you uncheck mark it, the option will go down. Search. You have three view of search hidden. So show search icons, show search box. Now for me, it's icon. For example, if I wanted to have, well, that doesn't look nice. I hate that. So it's better to have icon. Show Cortana icon will remove this. Whenever you uncheck mark it, show task view button will show a task view button. Show people on taskbar, well, you'll have your contacts in here, which I hate it. Show Windows Ink workspace will bring you a new applications that you can really use that. And it does a lot of work for you. And just click and it says you want to have whiteboard and you can download it and you can have full screen. I don't use it too much. So I'm going to just close that and uncheck mark. Show touch keyboard button will really enable you touch keyboard button. It is useful whenever you have a touch screen, but not sometimes. And in here you have the windows that you can manage the view of that. For example, this is the number one window I have, number two window, number three, number four. Let's stick with four. Whenever you open lots of windows, these options will be available. Cascade will show you the cascade way. Click. So this is the cascade way. And I'm going to undo that for now. Show windows stacked. It'll show like a stacked thing, like something that you stacked it with. So I'm going to undo that for now. And show windows side by side will show that side by side. Show the desktop will show you the desktop. And task manager is where you can manage all the tasks about the computer. Click. You have a lot of options in here to do and to discuss. So number one, whenever you have task manager, so you have a lot of options to do right now, but I'm going to talk about the fundamentals right now. The process will show you the process of applications that are open now. For example, I have opened these applications and it's a lot, I know, but some of them are asleep and they are not working. And it shows the status of CPU, memory, disk, network, power usage, and power usage over time. You can also do this trend. And you have that in here. You can always show fewer or more details. I like more details because I can see everything that is really in the process, and it helps me to do and to decide to end the task. Whenever some applications are using too much of the work, you can select it and you can end task. For example, whenever I have internet connection and my computer really process and applications runs automatically. So I hate that. I'm going to just select it and end task, and my internet connection really speeds up itself. Performance is where you can see all performance about your computer. CPU, memory, disk, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and so much more. The good thing is it has graph. It'll show you the graph way. Memory, it's also memory. That's all memory I have in here. And disk, you can see now. Ethernet, I don't have it right now, so it'll not show up. App history is where you can see the app history as always in here, and the CPU time, network time, and everything. But for me, it's not available yet. And I can delete it also in here. Yes, it's deleted right now. And startup is where really the computer gets really advanced in here. Whenever your computer boots up and all the applications automatically open at the startup. That's really fundamental and the basic of computer software. And in here, you can decide whether to enable it or to disable it. I disabled most of them because I didn't need that. For example, I don't need FTM or Figma or something like, what is it? Or something maybe Google Drive signing. I don't need all the time because whenever they are loading up at the startup, it really decreased the computer speed and performance. So I didn't like that. And for example, I don't like Java, so I'm going to disable it. Okay, now it's disabled. And let me see something new if there is coming up. So nothing new. And it also shows the BIOS time boot up. It's 12 seconds for me. Now for you, you might have a different computer and it's a different load up time. That's fine. So the more it's less time it boot up, that's the better time. User is where you can see all the users that are currently running in your device. For me, it's just me, no one else. Details is where you can see details of the more server like that. Server, each applications has server in the background, so they are running. For me, they are all running. Services, it's about details, of course, and you can also in task them any time. And also here we have the services. It's like not, it's coming also from the whole applications, but also in here you can manage them professionally. You can stop them or something. I mean, I really meant this part that every application has server, and details is the same that as that, like per process. I mean the process that are running in the computer. This is the whole task manager, and I'm not gonna go deep into it right now because whenever you right click in it, it'll have a lot of options, but they're really easy to understand. In task is the first thing you should understand, but you can also properties that and maybe go to the details, or maybe open file location, or maybe search it online, or maybe create a dump file for sometimes its necessity, and providing feedback or something else. You can see that in its usage, and you can change its measurement. It's the same thing, nothing more, and it'll switch up, nothing more. And start app is where you can disable and enable thing, and you have the same options as before. And one thing that really is important is open resource monitor. Whenever you click in here, you will have a big gigantic of the information about your computer, like overview, CPU, memory, disk, network. For example, let's talk about the CPU. How many computers really having? How many CPUs do I have? So in here, whenever you scroll down, I have what? 7. 7 plus 0, it is 8 CPUs. So my computer is really big thing to do. Really, that's all about the task manager that I already talked. And lock the taskbar is just locking the taskbar. And we'll talk about taskbar setting. We talked about it really. So whenever you click in the taskbar settings, and you will have a new options in here that we talked in the previous lecture. Okay, it's the same thing as that, and it brings changes to this whole thing. Now this was the start taskbar setting an option. We will go deep into this part next. Okay, good luck and have so much practice. That's the fundamental of the computer, and you should understand everything, because and this is the number one thing that you face in computer fundamentals each day.